Just as he's popular for being a rapper and R&B singer, Chris Brown is also quite popular for his history of violence towards women. He decided to start off 2022 with another violence case as he allegedly raped and drugged a woman. From where he's standing, things aren't looking so good, and we may have to say goodbye to Chris Brown for a while. Stay tuned to find out everything we know about Chris Brown's sentencing. Woman sues Chris Brown. On January 27th, 2022, one of the biggest and most credible outlets on social media, TMZ, revealed that they received legal documents alleging Brown drugged and raped an unarmed woman, a professional choreographer, dancer, model, and music artist on December 30th, 2020. According to reports, the assault allegedly happened on a yacht that was parked at Diddy's Star Island estate in Miami on the night Diddy hosted an end-of-the-year party. The filed lawsuit stated that Chris Brown had in fact invited Jane Doe over to Diddy's yacht after seeing her on a FaceTime call with her friend. She described the moment by saying, "Chris grabbed the phone while on a Facebook with a friend and asked her to come to Diddy's house ASAP." The said friend was with Brown as a guest at the party. Further describing how things played out that night, the lawsuit went on to state that once Jane Doe arrived at the party, Chris Brown offered her a drink in the kitchen on the yacht, the cup of which he later filled a second time. However, after filling up the cup a second time, she began to feel funny. She described the feeling in the lawsuit as a sudden, unexplained change in consciousness. According to TMZ's report, as soon as he in her, he stood up and verbally announced that he was done. Whoa. The following day, Brown reportedly contacted her and insisted that she use Plan B, which she claimed she did despite being shaken from the experience. She also never reported the case to the proper authorities at the time it happened. She's suing Chris for $20 million in damages, claiming the alleged rape is causing her severe emotional distress. The woman's attorney, Ariel Mitchell and George Rabeck, explained to TMZ that the victim was a medical student at the time and felt embarrassed of the situation, which is why she didn't initially report the alleged rape to the police. Mitchell and Rabeck also say they're committed to victims being heard and would urge anyone with information to contact them. Chris Brown reaction. The news of the lawsuit rocked the media, and people weren't quite surprised about the allegations raised against Chris Brown. However, judging by Brown's response, he may be innocent of these accusations. Chris Brown reacted to the situation via his Instagram account, where he posted a couple of stories and a video addressing the issue. In the first post of his story, he wrote, "I hope y'all see this pattern of cap whenever I'm releasing music or projects. They try to pull some real," wrote Chris, who dropped his new single, Iffy, earlier this month. He didn't stop there. He further denied the sexual assault claims while sharing a photo of himself wearing many caps, implying that they were capping and the allegations were false. He also took the opportunity to promote his Iffy challenge by posting a video and quoting the song lyrics in his caption. "Can't trust these, cause they iffy." His friend and collaborator Tory Lanez also came to his defense. "They really need to leave my dog at Chris Brown Official alone and just let him be great," he wrote. "Every time he got some good going on or he started an album rollout here, somebody come with some fake to drag him down. I've literally never seen this man be nothing but nicest to his fans and peers." Tory ended the post by saying, "Let the GOAT be the GOAT." Chris Brown history of violence. Anyone who knows Chris Brown knows that he has a history of violating and assaulting women. This trait of the R&B giant came to life after he got a battery charge for physically assaulting his ex-girlfriend, Rihanna. Shortly after, more women found the courage to open up on what they had been through in the hands of the rapper. With each case, the general public gets reminded that his days of assaulting women aren't far behind. With his recent lawsuit, fans aren't surprised as they believe Chris Brown could easily find himself assaulting a woman at any time. Rihanna abuse 2009. Brown's public image had been clean until a vicious fight between the 19-year-old and his then-girlfriend Rihanna made headlines. The night before the Grammy Awards, where the couple had been nominated for 2 awards each, the pair had left the pre-Grammy party and got into a public altercation. Rihanna's face and arms had been covered in visible contusions and bruises. He was charged with battery following Rihanna's hospitalization. Brown formally completed his probation in March of 2015. Robin Roberts interview 2011. 2 years after being charged with battery, Chris Brown sat down with Robin Roberts for an interview on Good Morning America. When the host asked Brown about the domestic abuse case, the singer reportedly stormed off the set. Brown stormed off stage and went went back to his dressing room. Then he came back down the hall, still backstage, and stopped upon seeing the person who produced the segment. Brown didn't have his shirt on. The show's hair and makeup staff said that they had called security because they heard loud noises coming from Brown's dressing room. Later, it was discovered that a window had been smashed in Brown's dressing room. The thick glass was destroyed and strewn across the street below. Cristal Shanae Spann. While attending a club in Miami Beach, Brown became upset when he noticed a woman taking a photo of him outside of the club. According to Cristal Shanae Spann's police report, the singer had snatched the phone from her hand through her car window to avoid any photos being leaked to tabloids, and then drove off with the item. He was accused of 1 count of robbery. Diana Hine's club shove. In Orange County, Brown experienced another club-related altercation when Diana Hines accused him of shoving her to the ground. According to Diana, Chris shoved her to the ground, and the shove was deliberate as she fell hard on her knees. She claimed she would need surgery following the incident that left her with torn ligaments in her right knee. Bus assault. During a video shoot in Colorado, Brown forcibly ejected a woman from his bus when she refused to give up her cell phone. The woman who was not part of the shoot also claimed her phone was broken and filed a report for third-degree assault. Nancy Ghosh. Sometime in 2016, some allegations arose against Chris Brown, claiming that the singer had brutally attacked his former manager, Mike G. His tour manager at the time, Nancy Ghosh, also claimed that he had threatened a similar attack against her and cut ties with the performer. Gun threat. Back in 2016, Chris Brown was detained by the LAPD following a standoff in his house. A woman had accused the singer of threatening her with a gun after showing up at his home. During the standoff, Brown posted several photos and videos to Instagram asserting his innocence as the police waited outside after being told they would need a search warrant before entering. Chris Brown, previous arrests. Chris Brown has found himself battling lawsuits and sorting legal dramas for most of his career. After his incident with Rihanna broke out, he just found it hard to stay out of trouble with the law. Anyway, here's a breakdown of Chris Brown's arrest history. Rihanna case. Chris Brown was on his A game in 2008. He had it all. Hit singles, plenty of press time, and to top it off, gorgeously talented girlfriend Rihanna. All of that changed in 2009 when Brown assaulted Rihanna just hours before the 2009 Grammy Awards. Soon after the incident, pictures of Rihanna's beaten face surfaced. Brown's public image changed right after the incident. He pleaded guilty to the felony assault charge and was placed on 5 years probation. Rihanna later appeared on Oprah's show and said she forgave the troubled singer because he made the mistake because he needed help. Years later, Brown discussed the incident in the 2017 documentary, Welcome to My Life, the official Chris Brown documentary. I remember she tried to kick me, just like her beating. Then I really hit her with the closed fist. Like I punched her and it busted her lip. And when I saw it, I was in shock. I was like, why did I hit her like that? I went from being on top of the world, #1 songs, being kind of like America's sweetheart, to being public enemy #1. I felt like a monster. I was thinking about suicide. I wasn't sleeping. I barely ate. The incident seemed to kick off all of the Chris Brown arrest history. Many people were against Chris Brown after the issue broke out, and even celebrities stood behind Rihanna. In June 2012, one of Rihanna's friends, Drake, got involved in a fight with Chris Brown and his entourage at a club in New York City. The fight left Brown injured, and he dissed Drake over the fights in one of his songs. 2013 arrest. In June 2013, Brown was arrested for assaulting a woman in a San Diego nightclub. The woman told police he pushed her in the VIP section, and she later filed a lawsuit against him. But that's not all that happened in June 2013. Brown was also charged that month with a hit and run. The charges were eventually dropped, but Brown unhappily had to complete an additional 1,000 hours of community labor while the DA agreed to dismiss a request to rescind his probation over his hit and run charge. Done 6 months community service with police, and the DA racist crying to the judge that I didn't do it. The system, Brown tweeted. A few months ago, in October, Chris Brown and his bodyguard got arrested and charged for an assault that occurred with the man outside of a Washington, D.C. hotel. Although the charge was a misdemeanor, they were dropped when Brown agreed to enter rehab for anger management. But it didn't last long. In November, Brown was discharged after throwing a rock through his mother's car window while she was visiting him. Brown was ordered to complete 90 days of anger management treatment at another facility. At least 24 hours of community labor a week and mandatory drug testing. A few months later, the facility Brown stayed in released a statement about Chris Brown's arrests. The release claimed he became aggressive and acted out physically. Due to untreated bipolar II disorder, severe sleep deprivation, inappropriate self-medicating, and untreated PTSD. Brown was in and out of court over his probation until March 2015. When his probation was officially lifted, "I'm off probation, woo, thank the Lord," Brown tweeted. "Hopefully this is my last day in court. Pray for me." 2 months after he tweeted he was off probation, a man claimed that Brown beat him during an altercation at a late-night basketball game at the Palms Casino and Resort in Las Vegas. The man later decided not to press charges. Then in January of 2016, Las Vegas police were called in again after a woman claimed Brown assaulted her and tried to take her phone while in a hotel room. Brown denied it all. At this point, I don't think Chris Brown owns a cell phone. 2016 arrest. After his probation ended in 2015, Brown managed to stay out of trouble until he found himself in a jail cell in Amsterdam in June of 2016. He was arrested for driving a dirt bike without a license plate. However, he was released within a short time, and he claimed the authorities in Amsterdam were cool as. Brown thought his legal woes for the year 2016 were going to end there, but it had only begun. 2 months later, Bailey Curran, Miss California Regional 2016, claimed that Brown threatened her with a gun while she was in his kitchen admiring a piece of jewelry. The singer was charged with assault with a deadly weapon, but was released from jail after posting a $250,000 bond. The lack of evidence regarding the case caused charges to be dropped. In April 2017, police opened an investigation after a photographer claimed Brown punched him in the face outside of a Florida nightclub. Brown managed to stay out of trouble for the duration of 2017. But then in May 2018, he proved yet again that assaulting women was his character trait when a woman claimed that Brown sexually assaulted her while she was in his home.